Hey everybody, today I'm going to do a cash envelope stuffing video. So if you've seen my first video of the year, I mentioned that I am doing a no-buy year. I have a number of different rules that I have to follow. Obviously, I can still pay my bills, mortgage, I can buy food, I can buy things that I need basically. Things that I want, on the other hand, there's some stricter rules involved. I've found lately that I've been going down a rabbit hole of just buying too many things, and of course 2020 with the pandemic kept us all home. It kept us a little bit more tied to the internet and online shopping, which I was not an exception to that. So this year I decided I'm going to reset my mentality with shopping. So far I've done pretty good. I went to the thrift store last week. I bought some clothes. I bought a couple of books, which I technically wasn't allowed to buy, but it was secondhand. So this week I'm going to talk about some of my savings goals. So during 2020, I didn't make any videos. I didn't do any cash envelope stuffing. I just felt like we were all just trying to survive what was going on in the world. But now I'm feeling refreshed. I'm feeling back to myself. And I want to start my cash envelopes again. This year is going to be a pretty significant year in terms of things that are happening in my life. I'm getting married. We are fixing the roof on our house finally. And in September, I did end up buying a new boiler for my house. And if anybody is considering any kind of upgrades to anything like that in their house, I would definitely look into it. I wish I had sooner, because with the new boiler, I've actually saved, I'm gonna say, in our gas bill, since we went to like an on-demand hot water system with the boiler and heating, we've gone from spending about $100 to $200 a month heating our house to $100 a month with everything, including like our on-demand hot water and heating. So I wish I had installed that boiler sooner. So it's definitely worth looking into if you are considering any kind of upgrades like that in your house. So I have made a list of goals for this year, which is of course subject to evolve like any goals in your life. So number one, pay off the new boiler. Unfortunately, we did have to put that on a line of credit because it was $11,000, and we've just had a lot of costs coming up over the last couple of months that have been really expensive. Think several $1,000s a month expenses. So we haven't really been able to make a huge dent in paying off the boiler. So that's going to be my goal for this year. Pay off the new roof, which is going to be about $15,000, and hopefully we'll get that done in about May or June. Pay for our wedding, which will also be $15,000, around there anyways, and we'll see what lockdown looks like by next September, which is when I'm going to get married. Fund my cash envelope. So I have a number of different goals that I want to fund and a number of different things that I want to pay for this year. And I want to reset my mentality to only pay for things in cash. I think that's a really healthy way to buy things that aren't specifically a need and very much a want. And you'll see my cash envelopes are nothing but wants. They are not necessary. I want to save for an emergency fund this year. And I know I really enjoy the Dave Ramsey method. However, I don't think, for some people with a mentality like mine, I don't think it's sustainable to just completely go all in to fund your emergency fund, rice and beans and rice, like what he always says. So that's why I'm also funding cash envelopes and doing a few fun things in between, because I'm just not the type of person that can go all in and completely give up my life for a goal. Even though if we did do that, we could probably have an emergency fund saved up in a couple of months. And my last goal is to stick to my no-buy year very strictly. So, I did mention I'm not perfect. I did mention I bought a couple of books at the thrift store. I'm gonna say that's not, I guess I did break my rules in my no-buy year already by buying books, because I said I didn't want to buy any more books. But they were books that I'd been looking for a couple of months, and they were like $3. So I'm not too stressed out about that. And so far, I've really enjoyed it. Even today, just by trying to identify some of my shopping behaviors. For example, I wanted to go to the thrift store today, and that is within my rules. I'm allowed to buy thrifted items, especially clothes. But I thought to myself, if I go to the thrift store and spend $5 to $10, it's still spending, it's still shopping behaviors, it's still going out buying things. So I decided I would rather keep my $10 today. And I felt pretty proud of that. And instead I went on a 45-minute dog walk, which if you look at the science behind why we shop, a lot of it is a dopamine release. It's a behavior to like get that happiness signal in your brain. And by going for a walk, I was happy and I felt great. So I feel like I did something differently that was healthy and I got the same response to it. So anyways, going on to my cash envelopes, right now they're a little bit pathetic. I only have 3. So I'm saving up for AirPods and I'm not sure if I want to get the I'm not sure, like the base model ones that are about $200 Canadian, or if I want to get the AirPod Pros. So for my purposes, I think the sort of base model $200 ones will be just fine for me. Plus, oh, I hate to say this, but I am someone who loses things, especially little AirPods or something like that. So I think I'll be careful with them. I think I'll be as careful as I can be, but in the event that one goes missing, I would rather a $200 AirPod goes missing than a $350 one or whatever the AirPod Pros are. So I think I might get the base model ones. Plus, the other day I was just doing stuff around the house and I was listening to podcasts, I was listening to YouTube, and my headphones kept getting caught on my legs, like, you know, when you bend down to get something and they get caught around your knee and they rip out of your ears and then they get caught on a cupboard door or something. And I was so frustrated. I think that when you're doing chores around the house, you deserve to listen to any podcast you want or YouTube, just to like keep you entertained and learn something. And it wasn't great because my earbuds kept ripping out of my ears. I was so frustrated. My phone kept falling out of my pocket. So I think AirPods are kind of an important thing to save for this time of year, or I guess right now. And I have decided that I'm going to put as much money into that envelope as I can. So if you guys remember my old trusty cash envelope here, this is my envelope for my Apple Watch, actually. I also have one for Christmas next year, and here's my AirPods envelope. So I'm going to put $40 into this envelope. I already have $50 in there. So I'm almost halfway there, actually, to getting my AirPods, which I'm really looking forward to, so my earbuds don't rip out of my ears every time I'm doing something around the house. Plus, it's kind of nice to not have to carry your phone around with you when it's like attached to your earbuds. So I'm looking forward to that. Christmas, I am not going to add anything to this envelope right as of now. I'm not too stressed out about this envelope. We actually didn't spend that much on Christmas, surprise, surprise, because we didn't do anything. And you know what? It was the most lovely Christmas ever. Like, it reminded me of the Christmases of my childhood. When did Christmas have to get so involved and have so many events, when really the best Christmases are just when you spend it at home with your spouse and your dog and you just kind of hang out. And we were able to get so much done in our house. We reorganized everything. We put flooring down actually in my study, and we couldn't have done that if it was just filled up with events and everything that we normally do. So I'm going to say it was actually really refreshing, and it was a silver lining to like everything that was 2020. It was lovely. And then I'm also saving up for an Apple Watch. So I'm on a pretty strict diet right now for weight loss purposes, and also health reasons. And so far I've lost 50 pounds. However, on this diet, you are not allowed to do any vigorous exercise. You can walk, you can kind of do some low impact stuff, but you can't run. And this year I really want to run a marathon. So, and I'm also like an obsessive tracker. Have you noticed? I track everything. I play music, so I track my music practices in a journal. I track all my spending, and I would love to be able to track my steps, and Apple Watches just have like a really good tracking system for that kind of thing. So I had to decide whether what was more important, the Apple Watch or the AirPods, and I decided the AirPods were much more important at this time and point. So I'm going to put $20 into my Apple Watch fund, which it already has $20, so I have $40. And I've decided I think I want to buy the Sport Edition. It's kind of middle of the road between, I think the Series 3 is about $260, and then the newest one that came out is $500 to $800, I think, which I would never spend that much on a watch. So the Sport Edition is a $370, I think, before taxes. So that's kind of what I want to get. So there's that. And just some updates on my life. With our grocery bill, it's gone way down due to me being on this new diet plan. That being said, I have to buy different foods. So the diet is called Ideal Protein. And you have to buy these, like, I call them space foods. They're like little packages that you buy for about $5 each. And you have to eat 3 a day. So it is quite expensive. However, it's super effective and it's completely changed my outlook on nutrition. I've never eaten so healthy in my entire life, and I think it's worth its weight in gold. And our grocery bill has almost been cut in half because I am not buying any prepackaged foods at the grocery store. It's basically only meat and vegetables, and whatever Sorel wants, like, it's mostly what he wants above and beyond meat and vegetables is like crackers and cheese, and that's it. And it's kind of cute, right? And then, so debt payoff, we're planning on paying off about $3,000 a month towards the line of credit. That's our only debt at this point, which is great. And our mortgage, of course, but I don't really count that in our debt numbers. And so my other goal this year, kind of part of my goals, is to work and finish projects as a way to increase income. So I've sort of picked up a few little gigs on the side, and I've decided that by finishing projects that I've started, so I'm taking a course online right now, and I've just kind of been slowly picking away at it, but if I pick up the pace and get it done, I can focus my energy on other things. And I've really been motivated to do my side work. Like, it's just whenever I want to complete some work. It's just like writing and research on the side. And it's whenever I want to do it. It's basically like I don't have a hard and fast deadlines, but it's really encouraged me to finish some projects that I've been given and just kind of work a little bit more on that. So anyways, that's it for this week. I really would like to do more videos where my face is in front of the camera like I did last week, and talk about my no-buy year, because it's been so far pretty good. And I think by this point in the month, I would have spent, I'm just going to throw out a number, about $400 or $500. And I have spent on things that are not needs, but are still within the guidelines of my no-buy year. I've spent probably $75. So it works to give yourself goals. I really recommend it. Anyways, looks like I have a text message. It's been a great week, and I hope to see you soon.